Guitar Heroes, Eric Andreas, your Guitar Sage here. Today I'm going to show you how to double your fretboard knowledge with one exercise. Literally, this is an exercise that I will give my students, usually my students who are trying to get into that upper echelon of knowing the fretboard more, and actually giving them an exercise that they could take by themselves, let them go, and they can develop this knowledge of the fretboard just by thinking about this exercise. Really cool bit here. Let's go over it, shall we? So this is using octaves, and you know that I'm a big fan of what I call springboards, and like finding little places on the neck that will allow you to just, it basically gives you the knowledge to know the whole fretboard without memorizing. Like, no one really sits down and memorizes the fretboard. The stuff that I teach is the stuff that pros use, right? But a lot of people don't know this. They think that you got to just memorize everything. It's not like that. So this exercise, and in fact, what I did just now there is I just played a basic 12-bar blues progression, and I was using this technique. And it's this technique of basically taking chords and duplicating them in different places on the neck. Now, today we're going to be working on just one exercise, and this is using what I call the Springboard Octave. I also call it octave mirroring. You can search this on YouTube. I don't think you're going to find anything because these are words that I've come up with in regards to this this technique. Okay, so this is the idea. First, I've got to show you how to find the octaves. It's really simple, and then you'll use this concept. So to find an octave on the first two strings, or I should say on the 6th and the 5th string, to find an octave up, one octave, you simply do this. Like if I'm on a G, a lot of you, if you've watched any of my videos, you've seen this before, okay? You can skip ahead a little bit. If you don't know this, then watch, okay? So if this is a G, trying to find an octave above, then I would go down 2 strings and up 2 frets, and that's a G as well. Now, if I'm on the 4th string and I want to go up an octave, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. 6th and 5th string, we can do this trick, down 2, up 2. So here's a G. I'm going to go down 2, up 2, and there's a G. This works for the A, down 2, up 2. It works for the B, the C, the D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, and a P. It works for every single note there is, okay? There's no H, I, J, K, L, M, and a P. But you get it, okay? It works for everything. Just find a note, go down 2 strings, up 2 frets, you'll find the octave. That's why Hendrix did what he did in, right, in Purple Haze, he does that little bit. And octaves are used all the time by rock guitar players. So we need to know how to do that. Now this works for the 6th and 5th string if we're going up, okay? Down 2, up 2. If we're talking about the 4th or 3rd string, we need to go down 2, up 3. Okay, so watch this. Here's a C. Here's an F. So I'm going to go down 2 strings, 1, 2, and I'm going to go up 3 frets, 1, 2, 3. Now that's our octave. Okay, that's because the B string is tuned up a half step. We got to compensate and play up yet another fret in order for it to be an octave. Okay. Standard tuning, the B string is tuned down a half step. Normally the guitar is tuned to 4ths, but from the G to the B, it's actually a major 3rd. So if we want to, we can do the same thing with the 4th string. And I'm going to show you the exercise here, so don't go anywhere. All right, here we go. Here is the 3rd string. So here I am, that's a C on the 3rd string. So if I want to find an octave up, I go down 2 strings and up 3. 1, 2, 3. There it is. There's my C. Okay, so for the 6th and 5th string, you go down 2, up 2. For the 4th and 3rd string, you go down 2, up 3. Okay, that's the only rule you need to know. Now, here's how the exercise goes. Basically, your job is to take any chord that you know that's on the lower strings or the higher strings and make it to go to the lower strings, okay? Do an octave lower or an octave above. Not going up 12 frets, but just doing it like I'm going to show you here. So for instance, I have a G major chord. Okay, and I'm just playing the strings 6 through 3. So now if I want to find out what the octave of this is, okay, and If I want to find out what the octave of this is, I was gonna say something. I'll say it in a minute. I'll say this part first. I'll take each one of these notes, pop it up an octave right here, and find what the new chord is. So here, that note's in place already. Here's my fifth. So I'm going to go down 2, up 2. So that note. So those two notes are my first two notes. So that's an octave. So I need to go down 2, up 3. Last is the third of the chord. That's the note that makes it major or minor. Major, G major, G minor. Major, minor, major, minor, major, minor. I can do that all day long. So there, that note right there, if I want to find it an octave up, I got to go down 2 strings, up 3 frets. So those notes together look like this. Okay? If that looks familiar to you, it's because it's the D formation. Okay, even though this is a G chord, we call it a D formation because open, there's a D. And that's what we were using. We're using that formation right there. Pretty cool, right? Now, for those of you that know the caged system, C-A-G-E-D, I teach this on YouTube. Just here on YouTube, type in YourGuitarSage. Caged, C-A-G-E-D, will absolutely blow your mind. If you don't know what this is, you got to know this. It'll teach you chords all over the fretboard. But variations of the same chords. It's pretty amazing. So we got this bit here. Got 4 notes there and 4 notes there. So that is the technique. Now we're going to do this on another chord here. So let's do the G7, okay? So in this case here, I'm lifting my pinky up. It's going down a whole step. So my chord is... Okay. Now, I can do the whole thing over again like I did here. Or I could just say, well, it's the same thing except my octave is down a whole step. So the chord should look like that. That should be my G7. But I'm going to go old school, right? We're going to do it the way we just learned a few minutes ago. Old school. So we got that right there. So here is a G. We need to find our octave. So we're going to go up 2, down 2. So that's going to be our first note. Just keeping it in the old noggin there, just remembering that. Next notes are 5. This is from this. That note's the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th note of the scale. And we're going to go find that octave. So we're going to go down 2, up 2. That's our note. So our first 2 notes are just up 1 octave. Now the next note is normally a G, but we're down a whole step, okay, to an F. So if I want to find that octave, I'll go down 2 strings, up 3 frets. So that's the note that I want. So now I got, okay, so far so good. And the last note, then there's the note that makes it, that's the third that makes it major and minor. So this, we're going to go down 2 strings, up 3 frets. And there is our last note. So that's what the chord should look like. Easy enough, right? Now, pretty cool stuff, right? Now you can do this with any formation. You can do it with a, a triad. Okay, by just building that formation right there on the fretboard. Okay, or you could do it, 1 note at a time, down 2 strings, up 2 frets on strings 6 and 5, up, or on strings 4 and 3, we go down to up 3. Okay, so don't forget that. That's absolutely important. Start by just doing the single notes and just making sure you understand that concept. Then try that with a triad. Then try it with like a 4-note scale or 4-note chord, and try sevenths, try major, minor, try anything that you can. The great technique. Now, the harder this is for you, listen, the more you want to be happy, the more you want to rejoice. Why is that? Because that means you really, really, really need it. Okay? If this is super easy for you, then pat yourself on the back and go, cool, I got this basic idea. That helps me solidify that I know the fretboard pretty well. But nonetheless, if this is difficult for you, that's good. Be happy, because that means you're learning a lot more than the folks that are doing this and they have it already. They've learned it already, but you're learning much more, okay? Something to be envious about. I am very envious of new players when they just start, because they just learn so much. They're so passionate about it, and it's great. Whereas if you play guitar for a few decades, you don't get as much knowledge anymore, right? It's higher end stuff, but you don't get as much. You're not learning as fast, okay? So, my friends, that's how you do this technique. Hey, did you learn something here today? I think you probably did. If you did, please smash that like button, hit subscribe. I have somewhere near 1,000 videos here on YouTube alone with this channel, YourGuitarSage, and my other channel, YGS Guitar Lessons. I teach a lot here. I teach a lot in Nashville. I've got my own courses, my own books, the whole 9 yards. I love to teach guitar, and I am here to tell you that anything that you want to do on this instrument, you can do. I'm not just saying that. I know this because I've seen it happen time and time again. When students come to see me, they don't know anything about guitar. And then they practice, and then they get good, and then they know something. Mystery, huh? Right? It's anybody can do this. Anybody can learn guitar. It just takes time. It takes practice. And you need a good resource. So hopefully I can be that for you, my friends. Hey, leave your comments below if you got anything that you want to ask me or anything you want to add to this video. I'm on Twitter and Facebook and all those places, and would love to talk to you there. Give thousands of dollars of guitars and gear and books and classes and courses away every single month. So if you like free stuff, join me on one of my live broadcasts at YourGuitarSage.com/live. You can sign up for the next notification there, and hopefully you're going to win something. All right, my friends, please let me know how I can help. And as always, be kind to all beings. Don't trust the man, and practice your guitar. I'll see you in the next video.